The global trade landscape is in constant flux, shaped by a complex interplay of economic forces, geopolitical shifts, and policy decisions. In recent years, the United States, a dominant player in the global economy, has made significant changes to its trade policies, sending ripples across the world. These changes, characterized by a shift towards protectionism and a reassessment of long-standing trade agreements, have sparked debate and uncertainty, leaving businesses and investors grappling to understand their implications. This essay will delve into the global impact of recent U.S. trade policies, examining both the benefits and drawbacks. We will explore the economic consequences of tariffs, the reshaping of global supply chains, and the heightened volatility in financial markets. Furthermore, we will analyze the sector-specific impacts, focusing on manufacturing, agriculture, and technology. Finally, we will outline potential threats and provide strategic guidelines for businesses and investors to navigate these challenging times. The U.S., with its economic might and influence, has always played a pivotal role in shaping the global trade order. However, the recent policy shifts signal a departure from the traditional free trade approach, raising concerns about potential trade wars and a fragmentation of the global economy. Understanding the ramifications of these changes is crucial for businesses and investors seeking to make informed decisions in an increasingly unpredictable world. One of the most significant tools employed by the U.S. in its recent trade policy adjustments has been the use of tariffs. These import taxes, levied on goods entering the U.S. from specific countries, are intended to protect domestic industries from foreign competition. While tariffs can provide a temporary boost to domestic producers by making their products more competitive, they also come with potential drawbacks. Firstly, tariffs often lead to higher prices for consumers, who ultimately bear the brunt of these taxes. This can have a dampening effect on consumer demand, potentially slowing economic growth. Secondly, tariffs can trigger retaliatory measures from trading partners, leading to a tit-for-tat escalation of trade barriers that harm all parties involved. The trade war between the U.S. and China, which erupted in 2018, serves as a stark reminder of the potential economic damage that can result from such a scenario. Moreover, tariffs can disrupt global supply chains, as businesses scramble to adjust to the new trade landscape. This can lead to delays, shortages, and increased costs for businesses. It is essential to recognize that tariffs are a complex economic instrument with far-reaching consequences. While they can be used strategically to protect domestic industries, their implementation must be carefully considered to avoid unintended negative consequences for the global economy. Global supply chains, the intricate networks that connect producers, suppliers, and consumers across borders, have become a defining feature of the modern global economy. These chains rely on the efficient flow of goods, services, and information across borders, enabling businesses to optimize production processes and reduce costs. However, recent U.S. trade policies have introduced significant uncertainty and disruption to these finely tuned systems. The imposition of tariffs, particularly on goods from China, has led many businesses to rethink their sourcing strategies. Some companies have begun to diversify their supply chains, shifting production to other countries to avoid tariffs or reduce their exposure to trade tensions. This trade diversion can create opportunities for businesses in countries that benefit from the rerouting of trade flows. However, it also presents challenges, as companies must navigate new regulations, establish new relationships with suppliers, and adapt to different business environments. The restructuring of global supply chains is a complex and dynamic process. Businesses that can adapt quickly, diversify their operations, and build resilience into their supply chains will be best positioned to weather the storm of uncertainty. Section 4. Financial markets, riding the waves of uncertainty. Financial markets, highly sensitive to changes in the global economic outlook, have reacted swiftly to the uncertainties created by shifting U.S. trade policies. The prospect of trade wars, tariffs, and disrupted supply chains has introduced volatility into stock markets, currency exchange rates, and investor sentiment. Businesses and investors, accustomed to a relatively predictable trade environment, are now grappling with a heightened sense of risk and uncertainty. The imposition of tariffs, for instance, can impact company profits, leading to stock market fluctuations. Similarly, trade tensions can cause currency exchange rates to fluctuate, affecting the value of international transactions and investments. The interconnected nature of the global economy means that these market movements are not confined to the US. They reverberate across the world, impacting businesses and investors in all corners of the globe. For businesses engaged in international trade or investment, understanding the potential impact of trade policy changes on financial markets is crucial for managing risk and making informed decisions. Section 5. Sector-specific impacts. Weathering the storm. The impacts of recent U.S. trade policies are not uniform across all sectors. Some industries are more exposed than others, depending on their reliance on international trade, their position in global supply chains, and the specific products they produce. Manufacturing, agriculture, and technology are among the sectors that have felt the effects of these policy shifts most acutely. Manufacturers, particularly those reliant on imported raw materials or components, have faced increased costs due to tariffs. This has squeezed profit margins and forced some companies to raise prices, potentially impacting consumer demand. The agriculture sector, a significant exporter for the U.S., has been hit by retaliatory tariffs imposed by trading partners. This has led to a decline in exports and created challenges for farmers who rely on international markets for their livelihoods. The technology sector, heavily reliant on global supply chains for components and assembly, has also experienced disruptions and increased costs due to trade tensions. This has highlighted the vulnerability of complex, globally integrated supply chains to political and economic shocks. Understanding the sector-specific impacts of trade policy changes is essential for businesses and investors seeking to identify both risks and opportunities in a changing global trade landscape. Section 6. Conclusion. Charting a course through uncertain waters. The global trade landscape is navigating a period of significant change and uncertainty, driven in part by shifting U.S. trade policies. The imposition of tariffs, the reshaping of global supply chains, and the heightened volatility in financial markets have created both challenges and opportunities for businesses and investors worldwide. Navigating this complex environment requires a deep understanding of the forces at play, the potential risks, and the strategies for mitigating them. Businesses must be proactive in assessing their exposure to trade-related risks, diversifying their supply chains, and developing contingency plans. Engaging in scenario planning, considering a range of potential trade policy outcomes, can help businesses build resilience and adapt to changing circumstances. Investors, too, must carefully assess the potential impact of trade policy changes on their portfolios, considering factors such as revenue exposure to specific markets, trade dependencies, and equity market volatility. In conclusion, the global impact of U.S. trade policies is multifaceted and far-reaching. While there may be short-term benefits for some domestic industries, the long-term consequences for the global economy remain uncertain. By embracing agility, strategic planning, and a deep understanding of the evolving trade landscape, businesses and investors can navigate these uncertain waters and position themselves for success in a changing world. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more updates on global trade and economic policies.